You may clap again. Very good. All right. All right, thank you. Now listen. You know, mimi nimwambia baba ni baba ya nani? Kila mtu. Na sasa ukiona SG amesimama hapa, tupigie baba makofi. Ama namna gani? Now, Bwana SG, this is a very, and I'm going to request, can you please get the statement? All right, very good. I'm going to request Senator Sifuna, CBS, to be able to read the first 5 stanzas, and then you can be able to, paragraphs, and then I can invite the crowd.
Thank you, Senator Ledama. Your Excellencies, the President, I've been requested to pause. Can I proceed, Your Excellencies? Okay.
Thank you very much. Mwambia baba ni baba ya kila mtu. So baba akisema fanya hivi lazima mfanye hivyo. I think all of you know where we've come from. Today is a very important day for all of us, because the unity of this country is greater than the interests of any of us. And when you see me standing here, it means a lot to me. But I've decided to follow the footsteps of our 2 very distinguished and eminent leaders in this republic, to be able to bring the entire country together so that we can do away with a constant fight. So today, from the wisdom of His Excellency, President William R. Ruto, and His Excellency, Right Honorable Prime Minister, they have sat down together and agreed that it's about time for us to end all these bickering, all these fights, and put this country first. I want to appreciate the wisdom of these 2 leaders. I want to thank them. And I want to remind them that this generation and the generations to come will be able to remember this occasion. It has taken a lot, trust me. But patience is everything. I actually never thought that I'll be standing here today to be able to usher in my 2 SGs. Unajua rungu yangu ilivunjika bwana. Lakini mbele it's the most important. Unajua mali ilivunjika Junet. But today we are here to sign, or the 2 leaders will be signing an expression of interest to work together. It is imperative that we all find areas that we can be able to work together, and I believe that the details will be provided with you in time. So without wasting so much time, let me now take this opportunity to invite the distinguished senator from Nairobi, SG Edward Sifuna, CBS, to be able to read the first 5 paragraphs. And I would kindly request you to actually remain silent so that you can internalize and you can be able to demystify the meaning of this agreement. Welcome, Banasia.
Thank you, Senator Ledama. Your Excellency, the President, Your Excellency, Prime Minister Raila Odinga, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, all leaders present here, all protocols observed. My name is Edwin Sifuna. I am the Senator of Nairobi, and I am standing here in my capacity as the Secretary General of the Orange Democratic Movement. Your Excellency, in the capacity as SG, I have certain constitutional duties and that is why I'm standing here to execute those duties in accordance with the Constitution of ODM. We have taken the liberty to read out this Memorandum of Understanding so that we are all clear on what it is and what it is not. We are all clear on what it is and what it is not. As SG, I want to confirm that this document has been processed through the relevant party organs. And Your Excellency, I have here in this room members of the party's central committee who I'll just request to stand up so that they confirm that this is a decision of an organ of the party. Please stand up if you're a member of the central committee of ODM. Thank you very much. You may be seated. We are going to take turns with my counterpart to read out this MOU. It is titled Memorandum of Understanding to Resolve the Social, Economic and Political Challenges Facing Kenya 2025. Realizing that Kenya has gone through a long period of political crisis and conflict that has hampered the nation's potential for development and improving the livelihoods of our people. Noting that such crises have often resulted into demonstrations by our people demanding their rights, with the state often resulting to brutal suppression of such demonstrations that unfortunately lead to loss of life as well as property. Acknowledging that the nation will not develop without reinforcing democratic governance and the rule of law, conscious that the decay in democratic governance is expressed through skewed allocation of resources, ethnic intolerance and marginalization, corruption, and noting that devolution, though intended to strengthen democratic governance and development at the grassroots, is systematically undermined and starved of funds. Now, therefore, His Excellency President Dr. William Samoei Ruto, CGH, and the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, EGH, being the party leaders of the largest political parties in Kenya and bearing the greatest political responsibility, acknowledge the need in setting up a broad platform for collaboration and cooperation between all political forces and other stakeholders in the Kenyan society to address these long-standing challenges that threaten our nationhood. As a first step towards this collaboration, His Excellency President Dr. William Samoei Ruto, CGH, and the Right Honorable Raila Odinga did set up the National Dialogue Committee in the year 2023 and hereby make this resolution on the initiatives that must be undertaken to instill further confidence in the country. While this memorandum does not define the formation of a political coalition between the respective political parties, its successful implementation will inform the basis of steps towards the establishment of a progressive and stable country. Now, therefore, the two leaders commit and resolve to collaborate and cooperate with each other by conducting broad-based consultations between themselves on the key issues identified below. Number one, the full implementation of the National Dialogue Committee report, the NADCO report. Priority issues in the NADCO process, like the cost of living, youth unemployment, establishing a framework for the implementation of the 2/3 gender rule, have been the topics of discussion for far too long and now must be actualized. Number two, inclusivity in all spheres of public life. Kenya belongs to all persons, regardless of their ethnicity, religion, generation, or geographic location. All Kenyans are equal and all are entitled to an equitable budgetary resource allocation and opportunities in public appointments. Further, though the Constitution of Kenya is clear on the rights of minorities and the marginalized people in the country, not enough has been done almost 15 years later to uphold these rights by fully implementing the provisions of the Constitution. Third, protecting and strengthening devolution. Devolution must continue to be protected from any possibility of clawback on devolved functions, and more effort must be put at devolving all funds allocated to a devolved function, increasing budgetary allocation to counties, and ensuring the timely and predictable disbursement of devolved funds. Your Excellencies, allow me to now invite my counterpart, the Secretary General of UDA, the Honorable Hassan Omar, Senator, to continue with the rest of the document. I thank you.
Your Excellency the President, Your Excellency the Prime Minister, Your Excellency the Deputy President, Your Excellency the Chair of UDA. Like my brother Sifuna, I can confirm that UDA has also processed this document through the necessary protocols that are established by our Constitution. Present here is the National Steering Committee, which is chaired by His Excellency the President, who I will not ask to stand. There's also the National Executive Committee of the UDA. Can you please rise for recognition? And we also have the UDA Party Parliamentary Group that is also present in this auspicious occasion. I will proceed from where my brother Sifuna left. Number 4, promoting and protecting the livelihoods of young people. Urgent and massive investment must be made in all high potential sectors of the economy, including mining, blue economy, agriculture, and ICT, to create sufficient employment opportunities that provide ways for young people to earn a decent living. Nationwide economic stimulus programs must therefore be initiated. Young people must also be mainstreamed in all political spaces to bring their voices to the table and their participation to the center of all activities. Number 5, leadership and integrity. Kenyans are concerned by the expression of opulence, accompanied by rude and arrogant conduct of public officers, and the apparent impunity that has followed the same. It must be enforced that the demeanor of public servants needs to reflect the dignity of their offices and the respect owed by them to the citizens of the Republic of Kenya. We must also urgently provide a legal and institutional framework for addressing conflict of interest among public servants. Number 6, the right to peaceful assembly and protest under Article 37 and compensation of all pending claims of abuse and derogation of their rights. Derogation of the rights to peaceful assembly and protest remains one of the most shameful realities of the excesses of the Kenya's law and order responses since independence. The effort to uphold this right must now involve not just the taking of responsibility by officers who break the law, but also by compensation of the victims of these derogations. An amnesty must be granted to all those who are charged for offenses based on the exercise of their right to peaceful assembly. The National Police Service must update their methods and processes of dealing with demonstrations and assemblies when they are held, and particularly when they have to be managed or contained. 7, the national debt. The urgent audit must be conducted of how much has been borrowed in the past and how it has been used. Going forward, we must stop the ballooning of the national debt and ensure accountability for future borrowing. Lastly, we must ensure that borrowed money is used in all manners that grants an equitable benefit to all Kenyans in every region of the country, since payments are made by all from taxes regardless of their locations. Number 8, the fight against corruption. Kenya needs to move from talk to action. We must move from the fight against corruption to winning the war against corruption. We must enhance the capacity of institutions that enforce accountability, and particularly the offices of the Auditor General, the Controller of Budget, and the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. 9, stopping wastage of public resources and promoting government efficiency. A new ethos of public expenditure in both national and county governments must be inculcated in a manner that promotes austerity, justification, and effectiveness in the use of public resources. Number 10, protecting and promoting the sovereignty of the people, the rule of law, and constitutionalism. The rule of law requires that government and its officers to obey court orders and only challenge the validity of judicial pronouncements through legal processes. The spectre of abductions and extrajudicial killings do not bode well for democracy. Suppression of constitutional freedoms, including speech, expression, assembly, and media, must stop. Furthermore, political parties, being key pillars of democratic participation, must be strengthened. The two leaders resolve to respect the identity and integrity of all political parties and to ensure respect and implementation of the provisions of the Political Parties Act. The dialogue and collaboration between the two leaders shall achieve its objectives by A, holding regular consultations on pressing issues of interest to the people of Kenya. B, exchanging expertise and information on the best practices in governance and of the Republic of Kenya. Let me read that again. Exchanging expertise and information on best practices in the governance of the Republic of Kenya. and the two leaders shall deploy their political infrastructure to examine the above matters and any other issues requiring their attention, and shall engage necessary expertise that will assist them in addressing the matters arising. Signed, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, CGH, Party Leader of the UDA, and also to be signed by His Excellency the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, EGH, Party Leader of the Orange Democratic Movement, on the 24th day of March 2025.
Let us appreciate the two distinguished senators. And now, before I call my co-MC, may I request that the table be brought here? We have the dates. It's 7th of March. But you'll be able to see it actually. Before I call my co-MC, the majority leader, can I please request that table and seat to be brought here so that the two leaders can be able to come and sign. And now, allow me to hand over the mic to my co-MC, a man I couldn't see eye to eye, but now I'm seeing eye to eye, Kimani Ichung'wah, to take over from there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my co-MC, Senator Ledama. Your Excellency, as the stage is set, as my co-MC, Senator Ledama, has said, we are here to witness as you and His Excellency Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga sign this MOU, which forms a framework of how we will work together as the two largest political parties. Your Excellency, as we've been told, you and His Excellency the Prime Minister are leaders of the two largest political parties in the country. That means, Your Excellency, that you also bear a greater responsibility than any other political parties or political leaders in the country. And with that responsibility, Your Excellency, you and Prime Minister are expected to bear the responsibility Thank you, Excellency. Your Excellency, I was saying, because you are leading the two largest political parties in the country, you also bear a greater responsibility to Kenyans and to the world. And part of that great responsibility is to ensure the unity of our country and the prosperity of our country. And as we have heard from the two SGs of the political parties, this will form a framework for the cooperation of you two as leaders of those parties and the unity of our country led by the two political parties, the two largest political parties. Your Excellency, I will be inviting those who will be flanking you and the Prime Minister as we sign, as I also try to buy some time for the Secretariat to get organized. As I also try to buy some time for the Secretariat to get organized a bit. And I will be asking that the leaders who will be flanking you as you sign, I will invite them to stage, and thereafter, after the signing ceremony, we will ask all the leaders that are invited up here to retreat back to their seats, and I will then invite just a few people to speak, led by the chairs of the two political parties. And Your Excellencies, you know that these two largest national political parties, ODM and UDA, are also led and have chairs who are ladies. And that has ensured that even as you that have begun the mainstreaming of getting our women leaders mainstreamed in our political leadership. Without much ado, Your Excellency, allow me, since I have the SGs here, to invite the two chairs, Governor, Your Excellency, Governor Gladys Wanga, and Your Excellency Cecily Mbarire, our two chairs. Allow me also to invite the parliamentary leadership, In the Senate, I see the Honorable Ledama already on stage representing Honorable Madzayo. Let me invite Senator Aaron Cheruyot, the leader of the majority in the Senate. I am already on stage, so I will invite the Honorable Junet Mohammed, my compatriot and colleague in the National Assembly. Allow me also to invite the acting party leader of ODM and governor for Kisumu, Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, to the stage. And also invite the deputy party leader and deputy president, Professor Kithure Kindiki, on stage. Once you are all settled, Professor, you go to the other side. Professor Kithure Kindiki, Deputy President, to the right. You can also see these two largest political parties are the only parties with professors in their leadership and have women chairs. It is now my singular honor to invite the Right Honorable Prime Minister, His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, Baba wa kila mtu, to stage. Another loud of applause for Baba wa kila mtu. Now finally to invite His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya and the party leader of UDA to the stage. The Secretary Generals of the two political parties, you will take the documents and please, you may take your seats. The two SGs, you will show our party leaders the pages to sign. A hand applause to the two party leaders as the two Secretary Generals confirm that they have fully signed together with our legal personnel, Wakili Paul Mwangi and Wakili Kamodho Adrian. I will now invite the two Secretary Generals to display the closed copies of the memorandum that have been signed. Just in front there. You can open the first page, SG. There. Just open the front page and display for a photo session. Front page, front page. Front page. A hand of applause. I will now ask Your Excellencies to be the first to take your seats. We will try to be very quick. I will now want to invite the chairperson of the ODM party to make her very brief remarks.
Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency Dr. William Ruto, Your Excellency Right Honorable Prime Minister and my party leader, Raila Odinga, all protocols observed. Your Excellency the Deputy President. The unity and stability of this country and the prosperity is not the responsibility of a few. It's the responsibility of all of us as a nation. And while we may have different political persuasions and come from different parts of the country and different schools of thought, nobody can fault unity. Nobody can fault equity. Nobody can fault not leaving anyone behind. Nobody can fault bringing this entire country together and making everybody in this country feel a part of this country. And that is why today this unity effort is appreciated. And I'd like to state it from my own school of thought, that this unity that you have put together today, Your Excellency and my party leader, is not about the two of you. Because Baba here has seen it all. In fact, he has enough for his and all generations. His Excellency the President has sat on all positions. So in my thinking, this unity is for the young people of this country. It's for all of us. It's for the women. It's for the marginalized. It's for those Kenyans who have felt like they have never been part of Kenya because have always been left behind. And let me state in conclusion, as the national chairman of the ODM party, and as I say, the largest party south of Sahara and north of River Limpopo, the ODM party, our party leader, and on behalf of this party, officials and members across the country, all 47 branches, we are behind this unity, we are behind this agreement, we will support it, we will support the broad-based arrangement, na tuko pamoja mpaka mwisho. Asante and God bless Kenya.
Thank you, Governor Wanga. It's now my pleasure to invite my party chair and the governor for Embu, Honorable Sisi Limbarire, on stage.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, who is also the party leader of the UDA party, Your Excellency, Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga, who is also the party leader of the ODM party, our Deputy President, all protocols observed. It is a great pleasure to be part of this historic event. I want to begin by saying that today we are reminded yet again that the nation will always remain bigger than our individual and party interests. That indeed, at no time will our individual and party interests become more important than those of the nation. I am happy that today, after a lot of rumors in the media, we are not signing an agreement behind closed doors in some private space. I'm also happy that it has taken serious consultations through the party structures to get to where we are. I'm equally happy that we have not signed a document that remains a secret to the people who we represent and who matter most. Today, Kenyans know what we have signed up to. Today, we are not signing to sharing positions. We are signing to issues that affect our people. So, we have today told the people of Kenya that it is not about positions, that actually the issues that have been bedeviling this country are the most critical issues that should bring us together. But more importantly, this sign for me means a lot. Because what does it mean to me? That going forward, we are no longer going to organize our politics at the regional level. We are no longer going to organize our politics at the tribal level. We are going to organize our politics around issues that affect our people. And therefore, this indeed is a great moment. I want to really congratulate the two party leaders, because you could have decided to stick to your hardline positions and decide you are the tough guys, but you realized how important your decisions are to the nation. To the politicians out there who are still stuck to regionalism, we are telling them nationalism is bigger than regionalism. To the leaders out there that believe belonging to the minority means you have no voice, we are telling you today the minority too have a voice in this great nation. To the leaders out there who continue to draw us back to where we come from, we are telling them we are moving forward as one united Kenya. Long live Kenya, long live the ODM party, and long live the UDA party. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our party chair. It's now my honor to invite the acting party leader of ODM and governor for Kisumu, Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, who I also fondly refer to as old boy, not because he's older than me, but because we went to the same school.
It is called the Alliance High School, for those who do not know. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Hallelujah. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President, William Somalia, Ruto and Raila Odinga. I will not say much. The two ladies, Raila Odinga. I will not say much. The two ladies have said it all. But there is a Christian saying that goes that once to every man and nation comes a moment to decide. Then it is the brave man chooses while the coward stands aside. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. We see here two brave men who at this point in time in Kenya's history have decided to make an important decision. We must pray for them. It is not going to be easy. Your bed is not made of roses. It is made of thorns. And the thorns are these people here. Not you individually, but you as a collective. Why? Because this decision is going to lead to a lot of demands. Because it might produce results. And those results will not be easy to produce. And therefore I'm saying here that it's us collectively who are present here today to witness this great occasion, to go out there and support the two brave men. Once to every man and nation comes a moment to decide. Then it is the brave man chooses, while the coward stands aside. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor Nyong'o. Your Excellencies, that is it in terms of our party chairs and our party leaders, and mine now just to invite our deputy party leader and deputy president to invite you and take over as MC from now onwards. And Your Excellency, as you have been told, this framework for cooperation is a cooperation not just for the unity of our country, but also to synergize our strengths as the two largest political parties in this country, and for the prosperity of all the people of Kenya, all without excluding anyone. Thank you very much, and now my honor to invite the Deputy President, the other professor, Professor Kithure Kindiki, who for the record also attended the same school with the governor for Mombasa and the governor for Nairobi.
And Kimani Ichung'wah was in the other school. Your Excellencies, William Ruto and Raila Odinga, my task is to moderate the last and remaining part of this event. As I do that, allow me, Your Excellencies, to say two things. The first is to say I am a proud Kenyan to see what is happening here today, because, as other speakers have said, courageous decisions are made by courageous people. Easy and flimsy decisions are made by weak people. And therefore, our coming here to witness this decision is a testament that the future of Kenya looks great, courtesy of the decisions that the two of you have made. The two of you have the largest political infrastructure in our country, by far. Between the two of you, you have the wherewithal, politically speaking, of the entire country. If you were individualistic and selfish, you would have chosen to exercise your muscles, one against the other, on opposite sides of politics. In the process, you may have succeeded in undercutting one another, but in the process, you would have succeeded a great deal in undermining the speed, efficiency of the development of our country. So I thank you, Your Excellencies, for making brave decisions, because not everyone can make those kind of decisions. Many people, even claiming to be leaders, are weak, so they make weak decisions, they make selfish decisions, they make sectarian decisions, they make decisions that only serve to their interest as opposed to the interest of society as a whole. And I dare say, Your Excellencies, that strong leaders think the nation. Weak leaders think division. Congratulations. The second and last point I want to make, Your Excellency, again, is the remarkable convergence of ideology that I see in the coming together of ODM and UDA. I have listened carefully to the joint script that was read by the two Secretary Generals, very carefully. In between, I can confirm, as a long-standing student of constitutional law, practice, and government, that between the two parties, because I could see the language from ODM, the language from UDA, the issues raised here, which we pray under your leadership jointly, you'll help us pursue them as a country. Those issues will resolve the things that have held Kenya back all this long. And therefore, those who have spent time, years, decades investing in division, investing in negative ethnicity, investing in parochial and petty dreams, their journey has come to an end. I want to thank you, Your Excellencies. We wish you well, and I know I speak on behalf of all my colleagues from both ODM and UDA. We wish you well, because if you succeed in leading us, Kenya will succeed. And therefore, I am happy, Your Excellency, and allow me now, so that we climax this event with two speeches. And I'm going to invite the first speaker, Your Excellency Raila Odinga. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Hi. You may be seated. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, President William Ruto, who is also the party leader of UDA, leaders of the two political parties, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jambo. There are ODM people here. ODM. 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 You see, wako tayari. Well, I'm very happy to stand before you here this morning to talk to you after a long period of absence. As you know, that in the last 6 months, I've been engaged in the campaign on the continental platform for the position of the chair of the African Union. Some people ask me, why did I decide to run for that position? And I say that I was approached by senior leaders on the continent who, when they saw that that position was becoming vacant, they needed somebody with a Pan-Africanist ideology to go and try to set that movement into the right path so that it can achieve the objectives for which the founding fathers formed it. So they then sent the former Nigerian president, President Obasanjo, to me to come and persuade me to run. And after a lot of soul searching, I made a decision. And some of you will have seen me with President Obasanjo on my side when I announced that I was going to run for the position of African Union chair. I did not expect to be supported by the Kenya government. But out of blues, President Ruto announced that he will support my candidature. I thought this is a better way to get rid of him. Good riddance. I would say that, in respect of the motives, He actually was genuine because he followed that announcement by giving full support to my candidature. As you know, you cannot run for the chair of African Union without being sponsored by your home government. You cannot just sit somewhere there and say, Mimi ni Professor Kithure Kindiki, I want to be a chairman of African Union. You will not even be seen. Your name must be presented by a government official through the embassy of Kenya in Addis Ababa. And this they did. Not only that, they put also the machinery behind my campaign. And Mr. President Ruto himself called various presidents and made appointments for me, and also persuaded them to support my candidature. He himself invited a president from East Africa here in Nairobi to basically adopt me as a candidate for the Eastern region, and this they did. So Kenyan ambassadors in all those foreign countries were also informed and that they would support my candidature, and whenever I went to, they received me at the airport, took me to the hotels, and also took me to meet with the president. I was able to meet more than 40 presidents on the continent. And I traveled Africa from east to west, south to north, like never before. As you know that I have been the high representative of the AU on issues of infrastructure. So I'm not actually strange to these issues. I mean, continent. As you know that our continent has suffered seriously from innovations from outside. First was the slave trade that took so many of able manpower across the shores to go and work in the building of Americas, both North America and South America. Some were taken to Arabia, some were incarcerated there and died there. So that was the first. Then came colonialism, where they went and set somewhere in Berlin and partitioned Africa there, according to their interests. British, French, Italian, Portuguese, and so on and so forth. So Africa has suffered seriously. That was colonialism. Then when Africans fought for independence, they granted it, but it was a flag. But then there was also neo-colonialism that came about, and Africa has continued to be marginalized. So I saw this and came up with a program of how we were going to deal with these issues. We campaigned strongly, and we went to Addis Ababa quite confident of victory. Before I went there, the women here, Orange women in Nairobi, organized a prayer meeting for me in Bombshell, Kenya. And they prayed for my success. And I told them that they were only going to do two outcomes in Addis. One, we would win, in which case we would have succeeded. The other one, we would lose, but we would also have succeeded. Because I told them why, we will come back home. So east and or west, home is? So we are here. So when I came back, I went to meet with the president in Mombasa to thank him for the support that the government had given me during that campaign. And he was, of course, very gracious. And at that time, I found when the two teams from the parties had worked out on some documents that they wanted to be signed, I told him I cannot sign the document until I've consulted our people, my people. So I took time. From that time, I went to Kisumu. I met with Professor. I met with leadership and elders in Kisumu. I went to Siaya. I went to Migori. I went to Homa Bay. I went to Busia, where I met with all the leadership from all the 5 counties to Western. Then I went to the coast. I was in Mombasa. I was in Malindi, in Kilifi. I was in Kwale. I came back. I went to Wajir. I came back. Yesterday I was in Kisii. I was in Narok. I was in Nairobi, here in this same building here with leadership of Nairobi. That is what you call random sampling. I think I managed to get the feeling of my people, my supporters. And that's the reason why I am today able and confident to sign this document. So I want to say this, of note. Today, we have signed a memorandum of understanding between Orange Democratic Movement and the United Democratic Alliance. The carrier goal of the MOU is to help ease the prevailing tensions in the country, reconcile the population, alleviate their suffering, and move the country forward by addressing the critical social, political, and economic issues our people are grappling with today. As leaders of the largest political parties in the country, we arrived at the understanding that in a time of significant changes and challenges to our nation, it is not enough to merely grandstand or stand aside and criticize, easy as those may be. They say, any madman can kick down a barn, but it takes a good carpenter to build one. We have agreed to help build a barn for our country, rather than merely kick down what we have. We have agreed to use our parties as a broad platform, bringing together various voices, opinions, and concerns to address the critical challenges facing the country through a formation that is truly national and inclusive in outlook. A core problem we agreed to prioritize is youth unemployment and resulting hopelessness that has made them easy fodder in political contests in which there is nothing tangible for them. In this MOU, we agree to embark on steps to realign the country's economic, social, and political priorities to address the youth agenda that has progressively fallen behind in the last 62 years of our independence. Through this MOU, we commit to uphold the Constitution, the rule of law, and respect for human rights. Importantly, we pledge to tackle unemployment, cost of living, crippling poverty, inequality, and failure of the institutions that have been eroded by inefficiency and corruption over the decades, making them unable to deliver to Kenyans. We seek a more equitable country in which all peoples of all backgrounds are included in the enjoyment of socio-economic benefits and are equal members of one indivisible nation. All Kenyans must feel that they belong here by right and the right to access, without any form of discrimination, whatever Kenya has to offer. We commit to protect and to strengthen devolution as a machinery for ensuring a more inclusive development across the country. In this regard, we will be tabling a proposal that the unbundling of functions that has been recently concluded, counties should get not less than 450 billion shillings in the 2025-2026 financial year. We will also seek the faithful flow of funds to political parties, being vehicles for the channeling of hopes and aspirations of the people. We will use this platform to revisit the constitutional provisions on leadership and integrity, corruption in public life, fundamental freedoms like free speech, protests and assembly, and preservation of the rule of law. We recognize that many of the issues this country is struggling with are as old as the country itself. It will take mutual trust between leaders and the creation of a conducive environment for them to be tackled with honesty and objectivity in a broadly constituted formation. As leaders of our parties, we commit to hold regular consultations on pressing issues, exchange expertise and information on the best practices in the governance of the Republic of Kenya, and facilitate and participate in public activities of interest to the people of Kenya that relate to their problems. We make it clear that the memorandum we have signed today does not define the formation of a political coalition between ODM and UDA. However, its successful implementation could inform the basis of steps toward the establishment of a broadly constitutive and progressive formation for a stable country in future. We urge all Kenyans who are interested in having a stable, inclusive, and progressive country, devoid of grandstanding and alienation of whole communities and regions, to rally behind this formation in the interest of our nation. God bless Kenya. Thank you. It's my pleasure now to invite my brother, William Samoei Ruto, to come, the party leader of UDA.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Prime Minister, and please let's take our seats. Your Excellency, Raila Amolo Odinga, Prime Minister of Kenya and party leader of my former party. Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Excellencies, leaders of both UDA and ODM, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Hamjambo. I want to associate myself with the comments that have already been made by my elder brother, Raila Odinga, on the journey that we have come as our two political formations. When His Excellency Raila Odinga decided to run for the position of Africa Union Commission Chair, it was obvious to me that, number one, as a citizen of this country, I owed him support. And it was also clear to me that knowing him as a Pan-Africanist, as a leader with experience, and that he had immense understanding of issues Africa, he qualified for not just my support, but that of the government of Kenya. He qualified for not just my support, but that of the government of Kenya. And that is why we went out of our way to support his candidature. As he has said, there were many propositions about his candidature. There are those who said my support for Raila Odinga was so that I could exit him from the stage. But there are those also who told me that by supporting the Honorable Raila Odinga and by him being the chair of Africa Union, I will be empowering him so that he can come and compete with me. And I had a very clear answer to them, that my support for Raila Odinga is not conditioned on him supporting me or him surrendering his aspirations for whatever reason. It was very clear to me that this support was deserved as a Kenyan. And I said then, and I will say again, that the Honorable Raila Odinga was a great candidate. He went out of his way. He ran a beautiful campaign, and I am very proud of his candidature. The outcome notwithstanding. And when he came back, we have been working together in the broad-based arrangement that we have that is inspired not by what is in it for me or him, but how we can close ranks and deal with the issues that affect the people of Kenya. And that brings us to this moment. And I must congratulate the Honorable Raila Odinga and the ODM party for their boldness and courage to take the position for Kenya and for the people of Kenya. That to me is a very bold decision. It's a very courageous decision. It may not be a popular decision, but that does not undermine the fact that it is the right decision to stand with the people of Kenya. And allow me to say that our country is undergoing major shifts across socio-economic and political spheres. Many of these transformations are occurring within the broader context of globalization and unprecedented technological, geopolitical, climatic, and demographic changes, creating an atmosphere of immense pressure, formidable challenges, and even an existential crisis. Never before have Kenyans expressed such a deep and widespread yearning for positive change and political, economic, and socio-economic transformation that leaves nobody, no community, no region, no religion behind. The expectation for fundamental progress is unanimous, consistent, intense, and universal across the nation. There is no one part of Kenya that does not yearn for progress and transformation. These aspirations, grounded on our nation's enduring character of boldly pursuing freedom, democratically managing our diverse interests, and engaging progressive institutions such as a clear notice for all of us that the time has come for us to seize this historic opportunity, unite more strongly than ever before, and deliver meaningful change to the Kenyan people. We undertake this commitment with the understanding that while our political parties may differ in strategy, we share a common goal: to build a united, secure, and prosperous Kenya under a government that is capable, committed, and willing to ensure abundance and opportunity for all without exception. This realization has enabled Kenya's largest political movements to engage constructively, recognizing the unique opportunity before us. As leaders and as a generation of citizens, we must embark on a bold and radical path of national transformation, confronting and resolving the fundamental issues that have shaped every national crisis since independence. And we have had an able listing of what this is. This is the path towards the promised land where freedom and opportunity are guaranteed for all. We recognize that this moment is unlike any other. It is not enough to merely identify systemic and structural obstacles that have denied generations a fair chance to achieve their aspirations. More importantly, we must rise above political differences and embrace a higher vision of the Kenya we all deserve. Understanding, therefore, that jobs, wealth, enterprise opportunities, and social services must be provided within an environment that is free, open, democratic, and competitive, we move forward with a shared commitment that is not only doing the right thing for our nation, but also to ensuring they are done right. We, the leaders of UDA, Kenya Kwanza, and ODM, commit to implementing the NADCO report to address key national issues, including the cost of living, youth unemployment, and gender inclusion. We also pledge to foster inclusivity in governance and development, protect and strengthen devolution, invest in creating opportunities for the youth, uphold integrity in leadership, and safeguard the right to peaceful assembly. We will raise and manage national resources responsibly to reduce our debt burden by ensuring transparency, responsible borrowing, and an audit of past debts. To realize and to know what has been borrowed, for what purpose, and how is it going to be paid. I attempted to set up this audit. It didn't work. I am confident that under this broad formation, we will now be able to audit our debts. This moment is not about William Ruto or Raila Odinga. This agreement, this memorandum of understanding, is not about sharing positions or winning elections. It is about the people and the interests of Kenya. That is what is significant. To me, the interests of this great nation. We have talked about Kenya of potential for far too long. It is now time that we close ranks as leaders, because this nation can succeed. We have what it takes to be a great nation. But we haven't made the steps and the decisions that would make this nation great, because we have always been making politically correct decisions. We need to make decisions that are correct as far as the interests of the people of Kenya are concerned. I must congratulate His Excellency, the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga, and the courage he has to make difficult decisions. Not many leaders can make the kind of decisions the Right Honorable Raila Odinga can make. Very few people can put the interests of the nation and the interests of the people above or ahead of their own personal interests. I say that without fear of any contradiction, because I know the kind of difficulty my elder brother has got to go through in getting us to this position. And my brother Raila Odinga, history is going to charge you fairly for what you have done for this nation. Immediately after the elections, several months after the elections, I called my brother and I told him, "You have been my party leader. You have been my senior. Today, by God's grace, I'm president. I want you to be treated well. And I will do whatever it takes to make sure that you have respect in Kenya." And I am not doing this so that for any other reason that is selfish to me. I am doing this because I'm a younger person. You are an elder as far as I'm concerned, by age. And the contribution you have made to this Kenya deserves respect and deserves support. And that is the relationship I have built with the Honorable Raila Odinga. And I am very clear in my mind that going into the future, it will take more than Raila Odinga and myself. It will take every one of us to pull this country together and to achieve the things that will change Kenya for the better. Let me say this, that equally we will fight corruption decisively, eliminate public resource wastage, and uphold the rule of law and constitutionalism, ensuring that government officials respect judicial decisions and protect the rights of all citizens. Our collective goal is a just, equitable, and prosperous Kenya for all of us. Thank you very much to all of you. May God bless our great country, Kenya. Asanteni sana.
Another round of applause for the principals, please, as I seek your indulgence, Your Excellencies, for a quick photo opportunity. If we can kindly just move the tables, if you'll just give us a minute to move the tables, we'll have a quick photo opportunity, starting with the two principals.
Baba, sini wa baba, baba, jeshi ya baba, baba, sini wa baba, baba, jeshi ya baba, baba, jeshi ya baba, baba, sini wa baba, baba, jeshi ya baba, baba, sini wa baba, baba, jeshi ya baba, baba, sini wa baba.